Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today, as you can see, we're working on our Moon Goddess journal. And I just want to do a little bit more work on the cover and then do some more covering of the pages. But I have looked up Moon Goddess on Google, so she has a name. In the Roman and Greek mythology, she's called Selena, or that's one of her names, and that was one of the ones I liked. Or the only one I liked, really, that I thought would fitted her, really. And some of the images that came up look very similar to these images. So this is Selena, the moon goddess. So she has a name. So she's starting to feel like more of an entity now. So what I felt like I wanted to do on here, which I haven't really done before, is put a few metal pieces on. I've pulled out. I haven't got a lot because I used to use cogs and things when I was doing art journaling a long time ago. I used to made some canvases and things which I've got on my wall and have used quite a few of this kind of thing, but never used them in the journals. And so I've got a few here that I'd like to just put on around the image. And I think the one I wanted something here. I felt like it was unfinished, this little bit here, like it needed something in the middle there. So I've got this piece, which is, because the clocks, I'm thinking, we're talking moonrise here. I was thinking that this could show the time of moonrise, but obviously only moonrise in the middle of summer probably, because it's 9 o'clock. I would have liked one that said midnight or something like that, but I didn't have one that was suitable. Sorry, excuse me. Other than this one. But I thought it looked a little bit like lost on there, so I wanted to have something behind it. So I've just got this little piece of lace which matches the fabric behind, and I thought that might just show it off a little bit better like that. I think that looks a bit better with just that little bit of lace behind it. And then I've got a few other little pieces, not many, I don't think it needs much, it's only a small journal. So I've got this one, which is kind of like a clock face with little cogs going around it, which I rather like. So I thought I might pop that up there, perhaps. And then I've got a couple of other little coggy bits. I'm trying to see whether it's got a different... Don't think it matters which way up it goes. I'm going to put one there. And then a little tiddly one, I think, down here. Or maybe here. Maybe that up there like that. So they're like that. So I've got those, and I thought, well, that works. For me, that works. I quite like that. But I felt there was still something else I wanted to do, so I've made myself a little dangle. And I've done it here. I didn't want to... all of this took me quite a while, because I've got quite a collection of little bits I wanted to look through, and I had this piece, which I thought maybe would work here because of the colour, but I just thought the image didn't work for this style of journal. I've got some little alarm clocks, and I thought, well, alarm clocks, no, I don't think so. So I've got a few bits that I was looking at to see what would work on here. So this is kind of what I've ended up with, and I thought, well, you didn't really need to see me umming and ahhing for that. That would probably take me half the video. Anyway, so I put together this little dangle. So what it's got some piece of crochet lace at the background for a bit of contrast. And then I've got this bit of dyed lace done with some food dye. I just had a strip of that in my little box. This is a little piece of fabric from my fabric pieces, those little scraps of Indian fabrics, and I thought that was a really good colour match with the gold, and that's just beautiful. I love that. And there's more of that. I just cut a little strip off. Then we've got another one of my clocks. This one says 10:05, so a bit later for moonrise there. It's probably too late because moon usually comes out a bit before 10 o'clock. And then I've got this little piece which I just thought it was really sweet, and it's got it's got the colour. This was an old earring of my mum's. I think I may have used the other one on another project some other time, but I just thought that was really sweet on the top. So I'm just going to... I thought I might attach that. I was umming and ahhing whether to put it at the edge over here, have it hanging off that side, but actually I think it would look quite nice just hanging down at the front here. So I might do that first and then then glue these on. I'm going to have to use my hot glue, which is on for these pieces just because it's metal. So a bit nervous because I'm not very good with the hot glue gun, but I think it's my only option. So I thought I'll put this on first, and then it's done. I'll just take these pieces off for a moment. And I'm just going to put this on. I think I want to just attach it here to this piece of card. See if that would work. They're hanging down like that. And these bits just hanging around. But I think they're really... I think that's lovely. I do like that. I don't very often put dangles on my journals. It's just not because I don't want to. It's just that I'm never sure. You know, I don't really think of doing it because I don't have a lot of that kind of thing. I've got some little bits of charms and things, but yeah, it's just not something I very often think to do. So I think what I'm going to do. Let's have a look at this. It's dripping glue all over the place, but I've got it on a little piece of craft mat, so that's fine. It's not damaging anything. So I think I might just put the glue on here. Let's get hold of it and put that there. Okay, so that's on there. It's these little ones that I'm a bit unsure about because it comes out so thick. So I might put a little blob where I want it and hope it doesn't show too much. I think it's this one really, it's the main issue because it's it's quite thin around the edges. Let's try and put a little bit on. I don't even know if it's coming out. Let's see if it's worked. Try to only put a little bit on. I think it may have done. And then I have my teeny tiny. Okay, Lenny. Whoop, quick. Yeah, it did come out then. Okay. So I've got that on there. And I think I can put some on. This one's got a bit more of a surface at least to put it on, so I can put that on there and it'll hold the lace in place, I think. Are you coming to play? Yep. Okay, so we've got that has come out good. Just trying to turn it over without burning myself. Sure if that's worked entirely. Let's see if it's gone through. I'm a bit lace slipped, but I'm not going to worry about that as long as the glue's gone through and stuck to the background. I can feel that the little clock has got quite hot. Well, not hot, but quite warm. Okay. I think we're on. So I think that's enough. I do have, I keep thinking it's enough and then I'm not sure. I've got this little collection of keys, really pretty ornate keys. I've got some different sizes. I've got one with love on it. I don't think that would work. But I did wonder whether to put a key on somewhere. That would work. There's another little metal embellishment. I don't know why this one feels like it needs some sort of metal on it, but it's just how I felt with this one a bit. So I've got this key here. Doesn't symbolise anything, I don't think, really. And it's certainly anything moon related, but I wondered if it would just add a little bit more interest. Don't know where it would go though. Not sure there's anywhere obvious to put it. So if anybody's any thoughts about where this key, one of these keys might look good. I've got this really big one, but I think that's too big. It's really sort of a beautiful key, would make a lovely dangle. I did wonder about adding a key to this dangle, but I thought that had enough on it already. And yeah, so if you've got any ideas as where it might go, do let me know, because I can't quite see where I could fit it in at the moment. But I think I'll leave well alone. Sometimes you just have to know when to stop, and I don't always know when to stop with things, but I'm trying to not just keep adding and adding. Sometimes that works, and I've seen people who do just add and add and add, and they end up with something amazing. But when I do it, I end up making it worse. Right, so I'm just going to take all these little pieces out of my way, and we'll start to work inside. Now, I started kind of doing a bit of tidying and clearing, because in preparation for clearing out the craft room so that the floor can be done. And I came across a few bits that I'd forgotten I had. So I thought that would work, I hope, in this journal. So I found some of my stamped pieces from when I was doing, some time ago. I stamped a load of the mosaic stamp that I've got, the Ideology, I think it's Ideology, Stampers Anonymous, mosaic stamp. And this was always intended to go in this journal, so I've got a few bits of that in the sort of turquoise, different shades of turquoise. That's quite dark. I thought I might be able to use some of that. And then I have got a little bit in this gorgeous limey green, which is a very similar colour to that straw paper I was using. So I might be able to incorporate some bits of that in the journal. Came across these stickers. I had a big big box full of Happy Mail from one of my lovely subscribers, Tiana, over in the US, and this was one of the sets of stickers she sent, and I thought some of these might work in here just as a bit of an embellishment. I have used a few here and there, so I thought I might be able to bring in some of these. I hope it's not, I'm sorry, I've got my light on, so it's catching the light and it is a bit glary, so I'm sorry about that. It's a pretty dull grey afternoon. It's just starting to rain. It could be turning to sleet. It's quite chilly. So I've had to put my light on in order to be able to film. So I'm sorry, that's kind of a bit reflective there. And another pack I'd forgotten I had, which I think also came from her. These gorgeous butterflies in different sizes. They're all in the shades of turquoise, green, blue. They're beautiful, and they're foiled. And I thought I've got to put a few of those in there. They're just perfect. Again, I'm sorry about the glare. I'll just take a few. Oh, got some from the other side as well. So there's some in another colourway on the back, on the other side. These are more in oranges and yellows and those sort of colours, autumnal colours, I would think. So they were on the back. Didn't mean to get those out, but equally beautiful for a different journal. But these ones, I think, so look, aren't they gorgeous? So yeah, I'm going to be trying to pop these in here and there as well. I know they don't have anything to do with the moon. They're not moths. If they were the moths, that probably would work even better, but they're not. But we can say they're cousins of the moths, which may or may not be true. I think we've got to go with a bit of poetic license here, or artistic license, shall we say, just to put things on that fit colour-wise and are pretty. So I wanted to do a little bit of work in here in between videos, but I've just not had time, other than to put that piece of William Morris paper behind there where there was a gap, and I'd left it unglued. And I've also done all the inking on the edges on both sides as well. That's the only thing I've done off camera. So we're just going to have to carry on adding the papers to provide our background so that we can come in as soon as we can and start adding a bit more decoration. So I think I think that might go quite nicely on here. Bit of that. I have something else here. Oop. Try and get it to lay flat as best we can. Pull that one out. So I was thinking, or maybe, no, I think I might have thought about having that up there. That's it, there. And then we'll have a little piece of this down here, because I think the colours go quite well. That there, have that just overlapping a bit there. Just like that. So I think that's where I shall start. So this is some of Tina's rich damask papers, and then this is from the kit. So I think it's. I did wonder about making this almost. This could almost be made into a pocket. It's a single sheet of paper. I wondered about almost like a hidden pocket. I think if I'm going to do that, I need to back it. I think I would back it, and I'd want something here because it's kind of blending a bit into this one. So I'm just going to glue this on first and have a think about the other piece. I do have some pockets, not unlike that. But I'm not really planning to add pockets until afterwards, but sometimes they just cry out to be made into a pocket when they're just a certain shape or they just go in a certain place. You think, well, that would make a really good pocket there. So I might just do that. Straight edge here, so that's, I kind of want to line that up to the top. Now let's have a look at this piece. I quite like the idea of that being a pocket, so let's see where I think the fold, I've already made the fold is there, so as long as it doesn't go over the fold and it doesn't go over the neck, we'll go over the next fold a little bit, so I might have to just trim that down a little. Okay, right, I shall take it off this end, I think. So that would go there and there. because I've torn this, I think backing it's going to be a bit problematic. So I'm just wondering whether to... It's so thin, I'm just worried about it being a pocket. I'm going to have to see if I can just try and give it a bit more stability. I'm just going to glue it onto a piece of book page. I think that's what I'm going to do, and then see if I can get it to look a bit still like the torn edge, because a lot of Jaf's actual kit pockets have got that torn edge look, so I think it would be quite in keeping to make one like that. Oops, line it up with the edge of the paper. I'm wondering if tearing around it and still showing a bit of book page would actually be a terrible thing. I might just try tearing around it and seeing if, you know, just having that little bit of book page showing won't be... Actually, it's tearing pretty much along the edge of the pocket anyway, I think. So it's so soft, this paper. I quite like that, but it's got that slight bit, little bits of book page just poking out here and there. Make sure it still fits. Yeah, I'm just going to ink that up a little bit more, because I've torn off the bit that I'd already inked. Walnut stain is what I'm using for this journal. So I hope you're all well. Are you working on any journals at the moment? What sort of kits do you like? I do find I'm really enjoying these medieval Mirage kits, just because they're so different to anything else. I always like to watch Rachel from Roxy Creations doing her medieval Mirage Mondays, because I do love those kits. Right, I'm going to glue that on there. I'm wondering how far up. I'm wondering to just, I might sort of make it a bit of a sort of a tuck and just do a little bit down the side and along the bottom. So, yeah. Up this side. I don't know whether to put any... I think I might just bring it up a little bit at the side. It's there. Right, that's where the fold is. Let's put that there. Coming up to, more or less up to the top here. It's got room to put tuck something in there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to fold that in. Oh. One of my little cogs has come off. I don't think I had enough glue on it, so I'll deal with that off camera and put that on it again. Right, so that bends there, so this would bend the other way. Trying to keep it straight as I can. Right, that's quite close to the edge there, that piece, isn't it? Just wondering if I'm bending it in the right place. That's why I've inked it on both sides, so that I can see where I need to fold. Have I done that right? Let's just see from the other side. Little unwieldy these things are. I haven't quite got it in the right. Yeah, it's close enough, I think. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, it's quite close to where I've got the... Oh no, that's right. That's fine. All right. So I think I will need to have a piece kind of overlapping here a bit, just to make sure that that doesn't pop up, because it's quite near the fold down below at the bottom. I don't know though, because I actually think that it'd be quite nice to have some of that uncovered. We could do a bit of mixed media on there, or some stenciling or something. But I might just put something down here, just to make sure that that is nice and secure. So I'm just going to bring in my papers again. I might put a piece of that green here, because it's just kind of going across there. I might take it almost to the pocket. You know, it's going to go right on the fold then, isn't it? Okay. I think I'll come in a little bit. If I can. Doesn't like tearing the other way. Then I'll get my ruler. Tear it across. Because then I can have it slightly not right on the fold on this side, but it's going over the fold here. I'll just tuck that in there, and then have that going there. I think I'll do that. I know it's a bit weird. Right, so yeah. I'm not even going to ink these pieces because I don't think they need it. Right, so glue, 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 glue. Okay, and that has now strengthened that join there. And I'm going to move it along a little bit. I don't think I need to cover this piece up. I'm just going to have a little bit, just going over that edge for the join. Let's see. Oops. Glue just fallen out of its holster. Because I remember from last time how difficult it can be once your journal starts spreading sideways. Oh, I've still got these bits of fabric. My feeling is I'm going to cover most of this with paper, leaving the odd bit here and there maybe, and then we'll come back and do some decorating, adding pockets, tucks and fabrics and gorgeous stuff. Maybe the odd butterfly, certainly some lanterns, some Moroccan lanterns and things. But I think it's the sort of thing I will be coming back to do. So let's look in our papers and see what bit of paper we would like next. See what have I used so far. Yep, okay. So what about, now we've got in the kit, there we go. There's this piece and another similar one. This one. I wonder if we can do something with those. See where I can. Got anything that would kind of complement those in my other papers. I don't know if this piece of William Morris, which I think might go pick up that green, which is what I was hoping to do. Got some bits of green, bits of that. Let's just have a go with some of these. I don't want too much piece of that. I quite like this. So we will just tear that down. So I have, well, a lot of these I printed off quite a while ago when I first got the kit, and I was using just standard 80 GSM copy paper for it. But these days I've started using slightly thicker copy paper as my standard for printing off journal kits. And it's 100 GSM, so it's just a little bit thicker, but it just feels a little bit more sturdy. And I just feel for journals, it's not paper that's going to tear quite as easily. So I'm going to get rid of that. Tear that across the top as well. Of course we've got the green here, so that kind of pulls that across. No, I wanted that to go overlap there a bit, didn't I? That's it, yes. Oh yes, I like that with the green. Yes, very nice. And do a piece of this. That's not quite the right colour there, is it? To go with it. Oh, that's interesting. Got the other damask paper that I was using in the other kit on the back. But that's okay. I don't need to. That doesn't matter at the moment. Right, so that could go. Oh no, that's too straight, isn't it? Much too straight. So I can have that going up there, and that one going there. Okay. And is this green? I'm just not sure. This green actually, it does go quite well with that green. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with it. Go do a bit of this. Just want to tear down the side. I only really want straight edges, top and bottom. So I'm going to do a bit of that. Could do a bit of that. I wonder whether that would be better there. Yes, I think so. Bring that over there. And then we'll have some of this. Oh. Which way round is that meant to be? Doesn't really matter, does it? But if I have that, yep, okay. Okay, sorry, I hope you can hear me. I know when I'm trying to figure things out, my voice tends to drop. And when I'm editing, I think, oh goodness, I don't even know if anybody can hear me. Because I'm trying to I'm almost figuring it out loud. I'm trying to do it out loud, but it's not very loud, and I do apologise if my voice starts to drift off. Okay, we're going to do something like that. And what I was thinking was using this slightly thicker paper now to print these, if I wanted to do some sort of tuck or leave a little space to tuck something in, like here, I don't think I'd need to back it because it's thicker. So I think that's what I would like to do. I'm going to ink all of these and glue them down, and then I'll come back. Right, so as you can see, I've done that. I've glued those on. I had intended to leave this as a tuck, but I discovered when I kind of left a border, I glued around the edges, and I realised it was right over the join. The join's about here. So I thought, well, you can't have a tuck spot over a join. It just doesn't work. So I've glued it all down, and we'll do something else here. And I have to try and remember to do, if I wanted to do some sort of tuck as part of my background, which I do quite like to do, I need to do it in the space between the joins and not right over the join. And I also added this piece of green, which was that scrap that we tore off, and I thought, well, I can pop that here. And that just leaves us a gap here. And when we've got some spaces like that, I've pulled out some of my pieces from these are ephemera pieces from the kit, which would just fill in some of these gaps quite nicely. So I've got something like that which would go really well there. That one's a bit purple, that one. I don't think that will work. That's exactly the same. Very similar. And then, or I've got this and I could tear this to shape and make this just another piece of background paper. That would also go in there quite well. Got a couple of different shapes of those. Or I could go with something more like this with the lanterns. I've got those. I've got some of these kind of things with the archways where the colours go really nicely. So these are like the back streets of Marrakesh in my mind. I know we've moved on to Moon Goddess, but yeah, it all still goes together, I think. And we've got this one, and I will just tear them down to make them work in here. I've got kind of a little one. Even this one would. That's upside down. Even this one would work quite well, but I think that would be quite nice to add afterwards. Don't want it really as a background piece. That's just like a little stamp or just a little scrap, really. I've got another one of this kind of thing. Oh, I don't know what to choose. Or I've got this, which is beautiful, which I think would make a really good journal card. And I think I've got it upside down. That's better. Isn't that beautiful? That would make a really nice journal card, I think. Yeah, so I don't think I'd want to use that. But maybe one of these more patterned pieces. I think these ones need to be more prominent. I think maybe one of these patterned pieces would go quite well on here. Maybe one of these. So I could tear this down. I mean, these could be journal cards. Probably are meant to be journal cards, but I'm sure we can use them for anything, really. If I was just to tear around that as best I can. I think it goes quite nicely in this spot with all these colours coming together. Whoops. So I could just do that there. I'm just wondering, is there a join here? No, it's kind of there, so maybe I pull it over a bit just so I cover that gap. I'm trying to work out from the writing which way round it's meant to be. Maybe that way round. Well, I do actually prefer it this way round. I quite like the writing up the top against these colours. I don't think anybody would really know which way round it's meant to be, unless you look really closely. Right, let's just make sure we know where our join is. Our join is there. So I'm going to try not to go over that because it'll just be a little edge. Okay. I'll put it up the wrong way again, haven't I? Well, it's probably the right way, but it's not the way I want it. And the script is just so fine, I don't think you'd really know, as I say, without looking really closely. Now it's going to bother me that it's upside down. I can't do it. I can't do it upside down. So I'm just going to pop that there. Just there, I think. That's all good. We got, I don't think I managed to put enough glue on there. That's the big bus just gone by, if you heard that. It's that time of day. It's the time when all the schools are coming out, and we do get quite a lot of school buses. going up the street in front of our house, and the school children walking past the house because we have a school up the road. So it's quite a busy time of day, just for a short period, and then it's all quiet again. Right, so let's just try and see. I'm going to try and fold the next one so I can move it along. So this one now gets folded here. Okay, that's folded. I know I've got a bit hanging off the bottom. I'll have to trim all this. I'll trim it all later off camera. So let's move along. Time's moving on, so I don't think I'll be able to do much more, but I'm having so much fun. The other thing I thought I could add here and there would be some of these moon images. So I'm just going to tear that in half and use this piece maybe along the way. I don't know quite how it'll fit in at the moment, but she's lovely, isn't she? Another image of our Selena. So could I don't know whether to just tear around this bit or add the whole, because I really love the whole card. That's the thing. It's hard to actually take it down at all. It's got a sort of torn edge look to it, so I'm just going to tear around that a little bit. Just take that off for the moment. And it could be these cards that give me the idea of the metal pieces on the cover, because it's got these kind of metal bits on these cards. So I'm wondering whether to kind of put that there so that we'll have the moon, or whether to put the moon right at the top. Let me just see what else I've got. I pulled in a few more pieces of paper while I was off camera. I could have that tucking in, something like that. Have that tucked in there. I wonder, I could kind of cut a slit and have it sliding in a little bit. Oh no, I don't know if I want it as covering quite as much as that. I could somehow do that. Now I need a bit more colour now. Yeah. This piece of this, maybe. Right, I can have that going there, maybe. Go. no, another school bus just pulled up. Do come thick and fast at this time of year. Time of the day. That's what I meant to say. That can come in there. And that could tuck in there, maybe like that. I think I'd like to emphasise the moon bit a bit more. Something like that maybe, because then the moon is front and centre, and we could do something with that. We could emboss it, we could highlight it with some gold pin. Let's just, yeah, I need to go that needs to go there. I think maybe that looks a bit odd having that gap, so maybe I should put that there. But then I think we're going over a join. Okay, let's just move that along there a little bit more, so it doesn't look like a little unintentional space, and I can always pop something else in there. Could actually make this a little tuck and have something going in there. Okay, so I think I quite like that arrangement. I haven't quite decided what's going to go across the top of here. Could I go with another little bit of this? Would that work in there? That was kind of, yeah, I think I could do that. Doesn't need to be very big. Torn edge on that side. And this needs to be a torn edge as well. It's always a bit complicated when you've got different things overlapping. So this is overlapping this, but then this is overlapping this, and this is overlapping this. So I just have to be a bit careful how I put them, how they glue them in. And I really don't think I need quite as much as this of the William Morris. So that can go under there. I know these are quite clashy, but actually you've got the blue in this pattern. It's the same blue. So as far as I'm concerned, they can go on the same page. Right, okay. So again, I shall ink and I shall glue. And I think I'm going to definitely try and make this, as long as it's not going over one of the fold marks, I'm going to try and make this one into a little tuck this way, I think. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I need to do any of the bringing out the gold before I tuck it, but I think I can do it afterwards. Yeah, I think I know what I'd like to do. Right, so inking, gluing, and I'll be back. Actually, I'll just do it, speed it up so you can see. I thought perhaps you'd rather watch me do it rather than having it just done off camera. But it'll be speeded up. Okay, so that section has all been done. There was a little break in the middle while I had to change my battery. Of course, it always runs out just at the wrong moment. And I did have to run off and find my new washi tapes that I'm going to use for this. I think they're just so gorgeous. I did so many to choose from, just because there was a bit of an awkward gap here. I thought I could use that for, and I'll probably use them in a few other places as well. So that's worked out quite well. So we've got our tuck spot here. I can just grab this piece so you can see that something can pop in here, and it's between the folds, because the folds are here and here. So when it's been folded up, this will still be mid-center of the page. And I think next time, no, it'll have to be at the end of the video, or when we start decorating, I will do something on here to make it stand out a bit more. But yeah, I'm really pleased how this has gone today. I really enjoy doing this. It's really fun, and it's yeah, I've managed to get a reasonable amount covered. There we are. So when it's dry, I'll carry on. I'll do the folding again, and I may do a bit more off camera just to take it on a bit further. See what time I have, because I intended to before and I just didn't have time to do it. So, but I just love this. Is so much fun. I mean, it's collaging, but with a purpose and with a colour scheme, and I'm just loving these colours. I really am really enjoying how this is going. So I hope you are too. This is definitely right up my street, all of this. So I will be back next week and we'll continue getting this covered, and then we'll get on to the fun part when we start adding some bits of gorgeousness. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.